change it and say, you're just helping us. This doesn't move you up at all. You know, very clear up front. You know, no hidden stuff here. Over 1/3 of people for the next 18 months check that box. And actually, a lot of people, especially in Europe, because of exchange rate variations, actually calls up and say, charge 100% of it now. The euro's going the wrong direction. So they funded, we're talking, over $1 million of, I was more nervous at this point, so I had all this cash in the bank. That really wasn't mine. They funded our whole ramp up on the K3. And we fortunately built the radio to work. We satisfied in that and had paid all those guys back with radios. And so they were our venture capital, if you look at it that way. It's an interesting way to fund a ramp up on a company, but it grew the company. We were sustained at that level. We just finished our best fiscal year ever, actually, just this last September. So we actually went counter to the common wisdom of having a company grow during a recession. A lot of that's due to folks like you, but also I think having obviously good product is key, and that's what we expanded that, by the way. We've got, of course, the K2. The middle item is the P3 Panadept. This is an SDR also, by the way. It's a direct sampling, digitally converting direct sampling, SDR receiver, panoramic display, fast Fourier transform, all done inside a ESP pit inside of that box. Actually, a little card that's going into it. We're going to release before the end of the year. It gives you a big monitor on the guys. Don't want a big monitor over the station, even if you want to look like NASA, or if you're like me and you have to wear these reading glasses to get the radio. Help you out too. This is actually very bright and very sharp. We actually have thousands of these things. We just had brought out this year a 500-watt solid state, fully automatic amplifier. Put all these three together, and we use the word K-line with the obvious reference to S-line for those of you who remember the Collins S-lines and stuff. This is an integrated 500-watt K3 system. It just follows it around. They're fully integrated. Does a lot of stuff like when you go into standby on the amplifier, the K3 drops back to its original 100-watt power, wherever you want to have it set on each band for standby operation. When we go back to operate the amp, K3 knows that, and it goes to wherever drive level 25, 30 watts should be on each band. So it's sort of cool. One thing we're also doing now, anybody here operate a remote station where you've got yourself on one end and you can operate with a computer to the other end? We have people that, for instance, that can't put up big antennas at home, or in a condo or retirement community, and they want to be able to still operate their HF station. People are doing that now with just computer-based systems. HamJam Deluxe or M4QI software to remote control K3s and other radios over the internet. They use Skype for voice and internet, their computer at each end to transfer both the Skype and the digital data to control the radio. Typically K3 and other radio at the far end. Some guys over in Sweden came up with the radio remote radio. These little boxes here, RRC1258s. And those actually do, without a computer, voice over internet VoIP. Also transfer, actually have 2 serial channels that we can transfer data over and control radios. We did a special deal with them where you can take K3s. We have a special code that's not released yet. It'll be in the standard next free release of software for the K3, where you can actually get a menu entry and your local K3 becomes a terminal, some terminal for the remote K3. And you're totally controlling that in real time. You're seeing its display reflected back to you, and you're controlling every button you hit, menu entry, everything's controlling your remote radio. It's the total real radio interface at that time. So I prefer that over using a computer interface just because I like knobs. That's sort of old school. But other cool things, we're going to do a version of the K3. I've actually got one on my desk, a K3.0, where we don't stuff the RF components inside the radio. And instead of a $1,500 or $1,600 10-watt radio for like $649, you get a radio that looks like a radio with a speaker, everything else. And you look at your remote grid box, and you can't tell it's not a real radio unless you know there's no coax cables coming out the back. I have one sitting on my desk in the office. And I worked T32C on 5 bands and did get a lot of work done that week. But had a lot of fun remote controlling the station down the hall. And actually, I'm probably hook up to my house. If I do that, I'm not going to get any work done at all. And this is, we're going to be actually selling this whole package. What's cool here is we can do a remote control thing that actually is still a radio with knobs, which is sort of fun. So we're sort of hyperactive, you can sort of tell this myself. I talk faster than Wayne. You got to watch them get a conversation over the phone. There's 2 aspects of it. We're talking about this speed back and forth, interrupting each other, and we sound like a married couple. Guaranteed. I mean, anybody who's worked around us long enough has gotten used to it. Anybody who walks in the room in the middle of a conversation thinks we're about to kill each other. I mean, it's like going back and forth. It's a lot of fun. But we're always coming up with new ideas like this, and we say, oh no, that won't work. Back and forth. But this is what keeps us going, is this level of energy. So back to the KX1. Grand prize here is the KX3. This is what we're referring to here. Is that this is a CW only radio. My comment to Wayne was, Wayne, this would be perfect for we could do the data voice and so on in a small radio. So you don't have to go just CW on a portable radio. A lot of hams don't operate CW, but also more important, you want that flexibility. So, you know, like for instance, a data radio, where you just plug in like a little iPhone or a little netbook or something to it and do PSK 31 out in the field if you want. You couldn't do it with a CW only Class C stage radio. So if you look at that, and you go to the next page, and you look at that, you can see the heritage from the KX1 to the KX3. What we did is we took the K3 display, it's the exact same one. We changed the polarizer so the viewing angles from the lower, from straight ahead to down instead of straight ahead to up. Just rotated it around. We use a lot of the same knobs. We have to use the same vendor for the custom buttons and stuff that we do on it. And we basically designed an SDR with knobs. And again, it's a higher performance SDR than what you're used to. We actually have special, we call them ringing filters. They're baseband. For those of you that are into software like radios, baseband IQ filters that are high Q and balance that give us additional close and dynamic range over even what a raw SDR can do for it. This is designed with internal batteries. Okay, you may have one here. So that's what it looks like. You have this little paddle. You see that you don't have. Somebody thought that was a handle. You have to hold it by. But yes, what's this? You could use more split before. This one is quite a bit different than the KX one, which has a very simplistic. This is a. It's a full mechanical. You can adjust the space and everything else. That was sort of cool. You don't have to get that, but you can plug mic in, you can plug data into it. It has the IQ output for software stuff. So guys can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. So this is what we're generating a lot of excitement about. What's interesting, K3 is a huge product for us. It still is. We sell tons of these things, and it really is what sustains the core business of the company. Interesting, by the way, is K2s, of course, you have to way down when you introduce the K3, not surprising. Especially for a product that's been around for 8, 10 years. And what's interesting is it came back up. Now, if you go back up to its original level, but at a nice level, and that's because there's a core group of people that like to solder and build stuff. These radios, the KX3, K3, we offer both built and kit, but the kit version is more modular where you plug the boards in, because the surface mount stuff's very difficult to make a kit out of because the parts are so small, the guy drops it on the floor, you can't read it, we're in trouble, guys sending more parts. But more importantly, half of us can't see what everything's anymore. But it would cost us so much to package it, it would cost us more to sell you a kit than it would be to sell you a built radio. So we offer as a modular kit radio. Same thing with the KX3. But we basically had a huge response to the K3, of course. KX3, how many folks seen the K with the Dayton all this year? How many folks stopped by our booth? Were you able to get to the booth? Like the crowd? We collapsed. Dayton is about 4 or 5 18-hour days for us. Again, from the West Coast, so we're off time-wise. Everything's, your body gets back. You collapse for a whole week afterwards. I'm sort of a vegetable at work that next week. But we did a neat viral marketing thing. We used the internet for this. Is that let me check my timer, by the way. How we do? What's the time scale, by the way? Where do I got that from? Okay, so I'll finish up pretty quick here, and then we'll do some questions too. Wayne and I, the night before Dayton, 3 email lists on the internet and on Twitter. We actually have a Twitter account where 500 people watch us for short announcements. New firmware, do this, just real quick stuff. Tweeted a 2-sentence Twitter-size tweet saying, new KX3 portable all-in-one radio comes to you today. Nothing on the website. And that was both because we didn't have time, because we were leaving for Dayton, but more importantly, we wanted people to come and see it, because we made it hard to find it until you saw it at the booth. People would take pictures of it, videos of it, put it on YouTube, tell their friends, the whole thing, even the viral thing. And it's amazing how big it is. There was a video shot of Wayne at Dayton talking about the KX3 that now has 50,000 hits on YouTube. Nuts. We've had probably by about a factor of 5 more response to this than we had for the K3, so I'm a little scared about ranking this one. You can tell I'm a little worried, but I'm worried financially. But actually, one nice thing, by the way, we're a very cash-strong company. We don't blow it all out real fast, so we already have enough resources now. I may or may not do deposits on this, I've decided, but we're in very good shape, which is nice. That's what allowed us to, of course, go through and do all these products through.